Thoughts on guys that bang fraud. Lazy ass, bum ass, motherfuckers. I don't want to be around anyone who's trapping. I don't want to be around anyone that's banging fraud. I only want to be around people who are on a positive and right path. When I say I don't want to be around anyone that's doing any fraud and that, it takes it back to a time when during lockdown, I started buying and selling cars. Well, I mean, didn't make any money. I got my trade plate. So if you don't know what trade plates are, it's the white number plate with the red writing. If you've not seen it, you will see it. Now that I've mentioned this, it looks like a number plate, but it's white and it's got red writing. So in the next few weeks, you will see someone driving around with that. You're like, oh, that's what trade plates are. And it basically allows you to drive a car that has no tax MOT and that. You shouldn't be driving around, but you can go from point A to point B. But you know what people are like in it. And told someone I know that told a couple man I know, I'm doing some buying and selling cars and that, buying them from auction and then trying to sell them on. And I was like, do you know what you should do? You should finance a little car like a Mercedes or something, little neat thing, little 1 Series BMW, whatever, and then rent it out. So, for example, if you're going to finance a little Mercedes, that might cost you £300 a month. But if you rent it out for the whole entire month or rent it out for a whole week to somebody, you can rent it out for a whole week to someone for 300 or 400. You can rent it out to someone for, £1,000 or whatever, innit? And I was thinking, yeah, that's a good little money maker and that. You get the luxury of having a nice little neat brand new car. You're not gonna always have it because it should be rented out and that, but at the same time, you got the luxury of when it's not rented out, you can drive in that, as long as you've got your own car on the side. And a man added, which made me think, nope, I'm not doing that. He said, yeah, the best customers, the best clientele you could have is man that do man that bang fraud. And I thought, I'm not building my whole business plan is not going to be built off having clients, customers who bang fraud. I don't want to deal with them man there. I don't want to deal with them man there. I want to deal with people who have something to lose. I don't want to deal and be around anybody that ain't got nothing to lose. Now at the time, I think I only had one property, which is this property, and now I've got 5 properties. There's no way at this stage that I'm at in my life, I don't want to be around anybody that ain't got nothing to lose. So, yeah, obviously you can still, hey, listen, if you want to use this as a business idea, get a car on finance, make sure it's all above board and you understand you get the correct insurances in place. But yeah, get a car on finance, £300 a month, for example, and then rent it out to people. Make money that way. And you can have 3, 4 cars on the go. So at some point, you're always going to have a car to drive. You can do that if you want, but do not build your business plan around people who are doing fraud. Don't remove anyone from your life that's not on the right path. Remove everybody and anyone from your life if you wouldn't want to be like them. But at least if you don't want to be like them, keep the contact to a bare minimum. Because that's the stage that I'm at now. If I don't want to be like you, I'm not going to hang around with you. If I died, God forbid, and came back to life, if I wouldn't want to be in that guy's position, fuck that. Forget. Why are you hanging around with him? Why are you hanging around with people that you wouldn't want to be like? Why are you hanging around with people you wouldn't want your son to grow up to be like? This is how you got to think. So I don't want to hang around no one that's doing fraud and that. It's foolishness. You're just going to end up in a rascal jail cell. And man that do fraud and have only done fraud in their life, them man, they need to be careful, because if you've just been a fraud man your whole life, you probably ain't really good with this, and you probably ain't got heart, and you ain't got that mental capacity to handle jail. See, if you was like me, you was a GM and you was beefing all these different men and fighting all these different people on a monthly basis and that, well, yeah, you're good to go in prison. And I had no qualms going to jail because man was always getting it cracking and that. But if you're a man that just did fraud or just does fraud or just shots and they're not about that, fam, you're gonna have problems when you go to jail. If you ain't about this, yeah, fam, you're gonna have problems when you go to jail. So you know what? Best just avoid it altogether, rude boy. So yeah, man, like when you start improving your life and then you get to a certain level, you can't be hanging around with certain people. You don't want to be moving and doing any sort of business and associating with anyone that ain't got nothing to lose. When you get to a certain level, that ghetto ass barbecue in some park in Walthamstow, Leighton, or Clissold Park, Hackney, or Bruce Castle Park, you can't be attending them functions there. Imagine, remember that girl that got shot? Stray bullet hit her in the house party. The black activist, she was like Black Lives Matter, like promoting this thing. Now she's disabled and that because she's at these ghetto ass parties and that with people that ain't got nothing to lose. And remember, certain times the danger isn't always the people that are in the function. So the danger ain't you. It ain't always the people that are in the club. Ain't always the people that are in the ghetto ass park. Ain't always the people that are in the house party. The danger is the people that are coming from wherever to look for the people that are in the party. And when them man they come and they're firing away, man them are like stormtroopers. Spray up the whole place and hit everybody but the intended target. How many times have you heard them stories there? Chanel's going out for her 21st birthday. Yeah. Her and her brethren, 8 of them, standing outside the club. They're all 6 foot plus because they're in 6-inch heels and that. Chanel's looking nice that night. And then a car pulls up, spray up the whole place. And then she's the one that gets licked down. I hear them stories there all the time. This is what happens when you're in these ghetto ass functions with these ghetto ass people. So yeah, man, it's crazy. But this is what happens, man. So don't associate with no one that, you know, ain't got nothing to lose because they're gonna get you caught up in some madness, man.